If you've seen any of my previous videos, you already know that I'd rather drink gasoline out of a sippy cup than acknowledge the oven playstyle of the real way to play Blood Bowl. It doesn't tickle my pickle, it doesn't spark dopamine, and whenever I play against it, the lack of dead bodies in the dugout box makes me want to throw something in the nearest electrical appliance. However, there is one exception to this rule, and that is the one elf team that hates elves as much as I do. Welcome to a Fumbled Guide to Blood Bowl. Dark Elves are the team for people who want to play an elf team without disappointing their parents. Like all elf teams, everyone has agility of 2+, but with no strength scores higher than 3, meaning the optimal strategy in a 1v1 is to dodge away and let the enemy team waste their team's blitz if they really want to hit you. Where Dark Elves differ, however, is that they have way more offensive positionals. Most elf teams have the 2 blitzers, and that's it for people who want to throw hands. Dark Elves, however, have 4 blitzers, up to 2 Witch Elves, and if you really want to spice it up, you can have up to 2 Dark Elf Assassins who stuck knives in, because their energies cannot be contained. The other main difference with Dark Elves versus other elves is that Dark Elves don't opt for a passing strategy to score. Instead of a thrower and some catchers, Dark Elves have a runner to score with. Oops, never mind, the runner is about to get punched, so he's going to dump the ball off to the nearest blitzer to score instead. I mean, hey, whatever works, blitzers need the XP for Blodge anyways. Think about building an elf team, including Dark Elves, as the positionals are all super expensive because of their higher agility. Even the linemen cost more than most teams' rerolls, so any major injury is going to be super devastating. God forbid the injury is dealt to one of your blitzers. Because of this massive cost, you will not have as many rerolls as you want. Your best bet is getting 2 rerolls and leaving it at that. The higher agility does mean you won't have to use rerolls that much anyways, but any elf player can testify that natural ones will happen and happen often, regardless of how many rerolls you have. On to level ups. Blitzers have access to agility instead of strength, so getting dodge on them is really nice, or you can save up a lot and get 1 or 2 of them guard. Block on everyone else works great, but personally I'd also give leader to my runner for a free reroll. I also tend to enjoy rebuilding my witch elves to be ball sacklers with wrestle, tackle, and strip ball. And don't forget Dark Elves are supposed to play dirty. Giving a lineman or 2 sneaky get and dirty players is both flavorful and effective. Assassins are neat, but their skills and stats leave something to be desired. They're low armor with slightly better movement, they start with stab and shadowing skill. So they work best against low armor targets and slow targets. The only team fitting that bill is Halflings, and Halflings are already the worst team in the game, so you don't need to punch down. But if you have the extra gold and decide to stab, jump up is a pretty neat skill for when the assassin goes down. And saving up to get multiple blocks is funny because 2 stabs are better than 1. Overall, the Dark Elf is the Shadow the Hedgehog of elf teams. Very cool, very edgy, very fun, but not quite the best at winning. One important thing to remember is that just because they are the bashy-ist elf team does not make them a bash team. Every elf ending their activation adjacent to a standing enemy is another elf about to end up in the casualty box of shame.